Hey YouTube, my name is Sucheta and you're watching The Resplendent Crow. In today's video, I'm going to help you decide on how to choose the perfect size piece of furniture for your space. The number one mistake that I see my customers making by far is buying a piece of furniture that's too small for their space. Yes. And I'm sure you're wondering, how do you know? You don't go to your customers' houses. Well, I know because my delivery driver sends me a picture of every single delivery. And in most cases, we're delivering the furniture to its final destination. And sometimes I get a picture and I go, oh my gosh, that's too small. But I just want to make sure that I'm helping you decide on how to buy the perfect size piece of furniture for your space. So let's look at my entryway. So I'm shopping for a piece of furniture for this wall, okay? So what you need is a tape measure and a blue tape. This is really important. You need both of these things, not just a tape measure. The piece I'm considering for this space is a 50-inch Zane credenza. So the wall is, what is the 65? Okay. The available wall space on this wall is about 65 inches. So of course a 60-inch piece is out of question because it's going to look like it was lodged in there, too big. So my next option is either 50 or 40. Let's tape for a 40-inch Zane to start out. I've laid down tape for a 40-inch Zane. You also want to put tape on the walls. So this is what I've taped on the wall for a 40-inch credenza that's 35 inches tall and 18 inches deep. So a 40-inch piece is not bad. Considering my plates are already hung on the wall, I don't want my plates outside of my credenza. So the question is, can I do a 50-inch credenza? Okay, so now I have taped for a 50-inch Zane. Although my taping job is questionable, I can visually get a really good idea of how the piece is going to look. So you can see I have about 5 to 6 inches of space right there. And I have a little bit more over here because, again, my tape job is not perfect. A 50-inch Zane will leave me about 6 to 7 inches on either side. It also means that my plates will not be hanging outside of the top of that Zane. Another thing that you don't want to forget about is your clearances, your walkways. You don't want to be bumping your hips on that piece of furniture that you just bought. If you're walking around this piece of furniture every day with a giant bag or a laundry basket, you want to make sure you have that with you when you're testing the clearances. Okay, I got several yards of wasted tape. That's definitely better than buying something that's either too big or too small. Let's see how this 50-inch Zane looks. Okay, so we have the 50-inch Zane in its spot. And I know lamps are not supposed to be styled in the center like that, but I'm just playing with things, so bear with me. I feel like I should have gone at least an inch shorter. 35 was fine, is a little too tall because you cannot see the bottom of my molding. Now, had it been much lower, it would have been fine. Because it's right there parallel to my Zane, I feel like that doesn't look perfect. I would prefer this to be about 34 inches tall, maybe 33 and a half. Let's look at this wall. And I know it's not a lacquered piece of furniture, but I wanted to show you what I have done to compensate for the fact that the bench is just a tad too small for the space. I had to have this bench in the entryway. I'm Indian, we take shoes off at the entryway, so it's important that guests can sit on a bench while they take their shoes off and put them back on. So I added a tall vase in order to visually fill the space. Sometimes it can happen where you come across a beautiful vintage piece that is just a little too small for your space. You love it, you gotta have it. And in that case, you can put a couple of chairs on either side, a tall vase, something to visually fill the space so the piece looks like it belongs in that spot. You can generally only add one item on each side. Anything more than that, and it's gonna look like clutter. So you need measuring tape and blue tape in order to figure out what's the perfect size piece of furniture for you. And very important, make sure you walk around it to test for clearance. Let's see a few samples of perfectly sized pieces for their space, and a few that really needed more inches. So this blue tall boy, the customer has sized it perfectly and she has left a few inches on either side of it so that there's easy access to the closet that's right next to it. This one is perfectly proportionate to the art. There's a few inches on either side of the art. There's about 20 inches of space on either side, which is perfect for a credenza that size. This vintage one, great size for the space, perfect for that art, and plenty of clearance on the right side as well as the left side for clear passage. Here's a credenza that may look really tight for the space until you look at it from the other angle, and it's perfect for that spot. She has left a few inches and her curtains are not getting smushed. Another great choice for the size of the space. So this one may look like it's really tight, but imagine there's no other usage for that space. So having the largest size credenza makes sense. This one, great size for the spot and also does not block access to the window. Perfect amount of storage too. So people like to watch their TVs from different heights, and this one is completely different from this one, but the piece itself is perfect size for the wall in both cases. And for this one, I feel like there's a large TV coming. And you don't want your TV to be too high, especially if you're watching it while sitting upright. Okay, so here's a piece of furniture that I think it's too small for the space, especially when you look at it from a couple of different angles. Same with this one, there's a lot of empty space on either side and doesn't seem to be any logical explanation for that. Now this one is a little small. If she adds a couple of chairs on either side, she'll be in good shape. Let me know if the video was helpful and leave me a comment if you have any questions. As always, I'm really easy to get a hold of. Email, call, text, or DM. Everything works.